So once again, welcome to our first stream. My name is Pavel. I'm the developer of the game Aggressors Ancient Rome, and today I would like to show you what are the options of the game customization and some hints how to use our UI. We have, or I have, my colleague on chat, so Herimadora. So whenever you have a question or some kind of suggestion, then just write. She's happy to answer all your questions, and if there is time, I will also answer the questions at the end of the stream. So let's jump to the game. By the way, I'm not sure if you saw the new post on forums. We just released today the new version of the game. It's version 1.04, and the most important change introduced with this build is that we added new player option called alternative mouse control, which I will describe in a couple of minutes on example. And by the way, we also have on chat Cable Nexus. He's one of our modders. So if you have any questions, he might also be able to answer them if they are related to modding. So let's go to the game. I again prepared a save file on which we will present or show the customize or customization options of the game. Music is quite low. Okay, that's not a problem. I will make it a bit louder. I just don't want you to hear the music and not me. So let me just make it a bit louder. So you can see that I'm already running version 1.04. It's in the lower right corner. So that's the one you should also have once you update. So I will make it a bit louder. So hopefully this will be a bit better, and we can start. Again, I just wanna make a quick introduction of the game we are playing now. You can see that we are playing as an Epirus Kingdom. This is a game I was playing already like 1 month ago, and it's roughly 90 turns in game. You can see that I'm doing okay for 90 turns game. It's a medium difficulty, and I was also able to defend my part of Sicily and eventually conquer the rest. Let's first start with the simple description of windows. Basically, we Aggressors doesn't have one window, but we are having set of windows tailored for different purposes. But all the windows have so-called interface at the top, in the kind of header of the windows, where you can see four different buttons. The first one is in the upper left corner, and it's a back button, which basically brings you back to the previous window. Then there is this question mark right next to it. It's not displayed for all the windows, but for most of them it is displayed. And you either click on that or press F1, and it brings you to the Aggressors library. I will cover Aggressors library in this stream as well in a couple of minutes. But the point I wanted to make is that it will always bring you to the particular section of the game which is related to the windows. So you can see that here we have a trade overview. I click on that, and we get directly to the game rules and trade. The next button is in the upper right corner, and it's state window or state window button. What it does, it basically because of we have number of windows and there can be like a chain of windows you opened, then we wanted to introduce a way how to get directly to the state window, and that's why there is this icon. So wherever you are, it doesn't matter how many windows you open, then you click on that or press F2 and it will bring you back to the state window. And the last button in the upper right corner, it's the close window, and I think that it's pretty self-explanatory. So this is the interface that all the windows have. Of course, for example, this state icon is there only when you started opening the windows from the state window. Otherwise, it's not there. Um, During this stream, I would like to cover basically set of all the player options or way how to customize the game, and because of there are a couple of things which will not be covered anywhere else, then I would also like to cover three different windows, particular windows in this stream. The first one is Aggressors library. Like I said before, you either press F1 or you click in the upper right corner on this question mark button, and we were really trying to put as many information to the Aggressors library as possible, so you don't need to read manuals or ask somewhere on the forum. And this is really, we were really trying to put all the possible informations we could, and we came up with this pretty compact uh, help library or help section, which consists of a couple of tabs. You can see that the first one is game rules, and it has a number of items or sub-items which are in text describing particular game features. So you can see we can start with army moral, birth rate, governments, loyalty, migration objectives, etc. In the second tab, you can see the map and UI, and what it's about. I think it's pretty clear. So it explains the highlighting of on map for particular map items, so you can see the and it describes the highlight of cities, also for temples, blacksmith, supply highlight, etc. Then there is the scenario tab. Basically, this is up to the modder or the scenario creator what will be in this section. We have the scenario description text, but like I said, Cable Nexus, our modder, he basically created his own index of subsections, so it's full of information. Then there is this tutorial. This is pretty much the same as you would same text as you would go through when you start the game with tutorial. So you can get back to this information anytime you want. So if you want to find something what you were up to during tutorial, then you should be able to find it here in the tutorial tab. The next, basically all of them are related to particular unit features or maybe items, like technologies. So there is a list of all technologies in game, and you can get to the detailed description of each of them. Then there is a map items tab, which lists all the possible items on map. So not only the units, but cities, buildings, and resources. There is government list of governments, which should give you pretty nice overview of what each government is for, what is the impact on army, etc. Then there is a list of improvements, and by list of improvements I mean all the improvements in game, not only for military units but also for cities and buildings. Then there is this land improvements, which is about how you can change the terrain or add improvements on terrain. The list of resources with information how you can mine them or get them or gain them, and what are they for. Then there is the list of achievements, which is kind of a technological achievement during the research. And then there is this invention tree, We already covered invention tree in our previous stream. It was about country management. By the way, if there is anyone who hasn't seen the previous stream, I really encourage to do so, because there is a plenty of information, and then you will not have to look for this in manual or in this aggressors library. So I really recommend to look at that. So this is the help library or aggressors library, and now I would like to show you two I think pretty nice features of aggressors. It's called player statistics. It's in the state window. What it shows, or what you can see here, it's a list of graphs with different kinds of information, and you can see that the graph contains number of players, usually allies, for which you have the particular information available. You can see now that we for economy graph, we can see the information about us. That's Epirus. You can see Ptolemaic Empire and Bosporan Kingdom. The reason why we don't see, because there are more players. You can see now the list of players is pretty long. Why we don't see the other players is in the graph is that we don't have this information available for them. So we don't know what is the economy of Roman Empire or Roman Republic, and that's the reason why we also don't see the information in the graph. Yeah, so this basically depends on what kind of information we have about particular players. If you look at the list of players for economy, there are 3, but if we go to army power, we see 4, and the reason is that with RDA we have a special treaty which shows us all the units the RDA has. So that's the reason why we see this information about army power for RDA. Let's go quickly through all the different graphs, so you can later use it to analyze what is your situation. Economy, it's basically kind of an index based on the number of buildings, city sizes, number of resources, production increase, etc. Army power, it's basically what is your army size and what is the actual power. So it means if the units are kind of damaged, then the power goes down. Then the number of cities, number of resources, number of attacks or battles per turn. So you can see that, for example, Ptolemaic Empire has a pretty big war, or something happened here around 237. Then there is number of casualties, is an accumulative graph, so you can see that it's always going up, and from the beginning we lost, or Ptolemaic Empire lost quite a high number of soldiers. Then there is the foreign relations. It's a statistic base of your relations, how many players you are in war with, how many players you are your allies, what kind of treaties you have, etc. Then there is country size, it's based on the number of tiles. There is population, it's based on the citizens resource. Then there is the happiness, and then there is the development, which is based on the research and how far did you already get in the invention tree. So that's the player statistics. One thing I would like to add here is that we don't see the other players, but we can in two ways. The first one is if we go to the game editor. If you go to the game editor and open the player statistics again, you will see that all the players are now listed, and we can see all the informations because we are in the game editor. The same would happen once you win the game or once you lose the game. So both these endings reveal this information for you, so you can see how you were doing and how the other players were doing. By the way, there are also a couple of ways how you can change the appearance of this graph. So you can see you can list the events which basically had some kind of impact on that particular graph. So they are also changing per the graph type. You can see the statistics for the extinct players. and we can also see we can also hide or show the legend. So if you prefer to have a bigger graphs, then you can change it here. And the third part I want to discuss before we get into the player options is the history replay. The history replay is basically what it says. It replays the game since the beginning, and it shows you how the players were expanding or how they were conquered by other players. Uh, you can uh, you can watch this with the banners turned on or displayed, or if you prefer to see a clear view, you just click on this item or press spacebar, and it will hide it or show it. So uh, you can set the speed and start the game, and it shows you how it actually went through the history, and also it shows you those dots. Those are let's say points of interest or maybe important events like city conquered or capital attacked, etc. And again, you can see that we just see the part of the map, and what we actually see is the part which is currently available or visible for us. So you can see that this is what we can see out of the Balkan, and this is exactly the same what we can see in this history replay, because once we see the tile, it means that we can also see its history. This is extremely useful when you don't have time to play a game for a couple of weeks and then you come back, and you might forget what was happening or how the game developed or who is your enemy. Then this is the perfect way how you simply play the replay, and it will bring you back to the game straight away. Again, like with the player statistics, uh, once you get to the editor or you win or lose the game, it will reveal you the whole map. So if you want to see the whole map or whole history, then you either win the game, lose the game, or then you go to the game editor if you are okay to cheat. So this is the third thing I wanted to show you today regarding the UI. And now I would really like to start with the player options and what you can change and how you can customize the game. So first thing I would like to cover is its mouse control system. Basically, once you select a unit, then there is a bar. It's called action bar with list of buttons, and every button represents one action. The action is a thing which a unit can do in particular situation with its movement points and in that particular tile. What we wanted to achieve was a game where players do not need to get to these buttons, and they do not need to learn the shortcuts. We really wanted to come up with a system which will allow the player to play only on the map. So that's why we came up with this Aggressors way of mouse control. And how it works is that we introduce so-called default actions. Default actions means that once I select a unit, you can see that straight away it says in the tooltip build dirt road. This is so-called default action, or to describe it a bit better, this is an action we set is probably the most important out of all the actions on that tile for that particular unit. So this changes per context, this changes per tile, this changes per unit selected, and there is a priority of things which are set as a default action. So you can see for this unit it is build dirt road. If we select this unit, it is build town. If we select this unit, it's build bridge. And if you select, I don't know, this unit, it says skip unit. So that's the default actions. And during the beta test, this was pretty well received, and testers like it and used it, but it didn't really fulfill um, our, let's say, goal, because the goal was to not have to go to these action bars at all, and this didn't really you still had to do it. So that's why we came up with the extension of this mouse controlling, and that's called alternative default action. So let's say I selected this unit, and I see that the suggested action is build dirt road. If I want to do something else, then there is also available so-called alternative default action, and it shows when I hold the control key, control button. So if I now press it and hold it, you can see that it changes to 45. This is the alternative default action. What I can do now, if I confirm this alternative default action by left mouse click, it will fortify the unit, and you can see that this changes again per selected unit. This is now build town, and alternative default action when I press Control is build dirt road. Uh, this is this allows us, or this basically, when we were investigating how much time it saves, it should cover 95 or till 98% of all the actions you actually perform. And that means that you can really focus on the game, you can really focus on the map instead of going to the action bar, and enjoy the game without learning shortcuts as well. This control key is only one way how to achieve this alternative default action. The second way, and that's something I also use, is that you can really use only mouse. Instead of holding control, you hold the right mouse button. So if I will now hold the right mouse button, you can see that it now again changes to the alternative default action. So when I want to execute the alternative default action, I hold the right mouse button and then confirm by a left click. You can see, for example, here is the build bridge, but I want to fortify the unit, so I hold the mouse button, right mouse button, and confirm with the left click, and that's done. Similarly, we can do it for other ones. And when you want to execute the default action, it's even simpler. You just click left mouse button, and you execute that action. So that's the way we were trying to simplify the way you play the game. Unfortunately, I mean, every player has its own taste, and some players prefer to use kind of standard way, and that's the way like Total War works, or Civilization works, and that's basically working like left mouse click is deselection or selection, and right mouse button click is the confirmation. We just recently in this update we came up with this feature, and that's also the way how we will start going through the player options. So to player options, you go easily by pressing this A and then game settings. And let's start with the mouse tab. You can see that there are now 5 different tabs, and the mouse is the bottom one. There is, by way, sorry, I didn't read it earlier. There is a question from Pixel464. The history replay is a neat feature. It would be kind of cool if you could export it as a GIF or animation of some sort of. Yes, it would be really nice. um, what we did initially was that we basically used recording software, and then put it on YouTube. I think that one of the games which was really interesting, because it was playing Legendary, or Roman Republic on Legendary. It was that interesting game that we published it on YouTube. If you want, I can actually send you the link once we finish the stream. But yeah, you are right. It would be really nice. But right now, it's kind of the number of things which are still in our to-do list on the higher priority levels is still quite long. So I'm not sure if I can promise anything regarding this right now. Uh, so let's get back to the game settings. The first thing you can change is the mouse sensitivity. I think that it's pretty clear what it means. So if you prefer to have a faster mouse, you just change it here. You can see that I really prefer to have faster mouse. And then the second option is the alternative mouse control. So let's change it to alternative mouse control. And what it does is, like I said, left click deselects the unit. So you can see that every time I click, it deselects the unit, or it selects another unit. You can also use left mouse button for dragging the map. Uh, in both mouse controlling versions, the middle button or mouse wheel button is used for zooming in, zooming out, and you can also use the dragging when you press the mouse wheel. And when you in this mode, if when you right click on mouse, then you basically execute the action you had selected, or which was the default one. Again, you can use the default actions here. You can see that there is a default action, but because of we had to split or basically use the button for confirmation, the right mouse button, there is no way how we can add this alternative default action for mouse. So the only way how you can also go into the alternative default action with this mouse control system is that you hold the control key. So that's why we did. Basically that's the reason why we didn't came up with the standard way, because we knew that if we want to have this alternative default action for mouse, then this cannot work. But if you prefer to use the Total War or Civilization way of mouse control system, then you are absolutely free, able to do so when you set this. Uh, for these two, just briefly, mouse lock, what it does is that if you have more screens, then it basically locks the mouse inside the screen, so you cannot basically move the mouse outside the screen, and you need to use Alt Tab to activate another window. And mouse smoothness is kind of a special feature only for particular PC configurations. I don't really want to go into much detail, but for some PCs, when the GPU is much faster than CPU, then there is some kind of inconsistency in speed, and this is the way how you can mitigate that problem, that the mouse was kind of lagging. But if you don't experience any of these problems, then there is no reason to use that. So let's go to the second tab. It's about keyboard. Also, I will cover it pretty quickly because it's kind of clear what it does. So there is a number of shortcuts. You can see that the list is quite long. Some of them, basically all the unit actions, you can tweak and change per your liking. So you just click on this text box, and whatever you press now, it will set the particular shortcut, and once you set it, save it, it will change the shortcut which is used for that. The list of shortcut is split to two parts. The second part cannot be changed. It's currently hard-coded, and it will stay like that because we want to have like a standard standard way how you actually control the game. And it really recommended to learn what these shortcuts do, what these keys do, because we bound all the F keys, and some of them are really used a lot, like state window, foreign relations window, F4 strategic overview. So it is really worth to give it a go and learn them. Every time you hover over a button which already has shortcut set, then you can see here move unit is G. So you can learn it also during playing the game. So you can see here foreign relations or F3 key. Okay, Pixel wants one city to be named Pixelpolis. Yeah, sure. I mean, we can change the one we just built. By the way, not sure if you know that you can change both the names of the country, or you can change the names of the units, not only cities, but also the military units. So this is the shortcuts. By the way, again, one thing which you might probably not be aware of: once you enter the game editor and you go back to the game settings, then the number of shortcuts extends. You can see that all these were not there initially, and the reason is that these are active only during the or only in the game editor mode. So once you get to the game editor mode, also go through these shortcuts, because they are really useful when you build your own scenario or your own map, and it will speed up the process and simplify it for you. So yeah, there is a difference between being in the game editor or outside the game editor. So there are some things which are enabled, uh, and you don't see them in the standard mode. So let's get back to the standard mode and continue on the next tab, which is audio. Again, pretty simple. The game comes up with different sets of sounds, and you can tweak the volume of each of these and decide if you want to turn some on or off. Terrain sounds. So once you are focused on one terrain, or you have units selected, then it basically plays the sound of that terrain, and it also changes per the height. So the higher you are with the camera or the view, the the more silent these sounds are. Then there are movement sounds, which basically it's like marching of the units, or fighting, or building, destroying. Then there is the music, of course. Then it's the game sounds, which are all those sounds when you click on something. Then it's the game sound. And then there is this greeting sounds. This is something what was a bit controversial, because we came up with a kind of unique, how to say, original way how the units greet you. So you can hear. Okay, let me just make it a bit louder. You can see or hear that the sounds or greeting sounds might not be the ones you like, and we thought that it might be fun to hear that, but some of the players actually find it immersion breaking, or they don't like it at all. So you have two ways or two options what to do with that. The first one is you can turn off the greeting sounds entirely, or that's a new option we came up 2 weeks ago, and it's called simplify greeting sounds. And if you turn this on, then every time you select a unit, it will just make a click sound or selection sound. So for those ones who don't like this, there is a way how to change it. Yes, yes. I will show the. There is a question. Will Pavel show the extended UI option? Yes, I will. Don't worry. We will go through all of them in a minute. Just let me first. Let me take it one by one. So now we get to the graphics tab. Um, there are two different ways, or two different sets of graphic options. The first one is in the player tab, and the second one is in its own graphics tab. The reason is that these graphic options basically need a restart, and the other ones don't need a restart, and they change the graphics straight away. I don't want to describe all the things you can change here. The important part is that there is a profile which changes it for you. The profile itself is configured when you first start the game, because we have some kind of GPU powered detection. So once you start the game, it will tell you, well, your GPU is not that strong or powerful, so we set the profile to average or something like that. But usually on today's PCs or today's PCs. The PCs the Steam users, for example, have, it's for all of them. It's like maximum. Only on integrated graphic cards on laptop it might be average or even low, but most of the time it's really on maximum. If you don't want to use the profile, which basically changes number of things, then you can tweak particular values like resolution, anti-aliasing, shadow quality, fog, etc., etc. It doesn't make sense to go through that. What makes sense to go through is the UI scaling. UI scaling is basically something we introduced again recently after the vanilla release. So this is, I think, 3 weeks old. And what it does is the UI scaling. It's pretty clear what it does. It basically changes the size of UI controls, so windows, panels, buttons, etc., etc. But we didn't hard code it per your resolution, which means it doesn't set it for 200 when you are on 4K and on 100 when you are full HD. Or more precisely, it does set it, but you can change it. So right now I'm running full HD and you can see that it's on 100%. Let's try to change the UI scaling on 75%. It will require restart. So I will restart the game. Now it will, for a couple of seconds, it will get back to the splash screen. But it should be pretty quickly loaded back. So you can already see on the progress bar at the bottom that it's smaller. It's smaller and the text is also smaller. So this is for people who prefer to have a small UI and or are sitting very close to the screen. And that's the way we let you to decide what kind of UI scaling you actually prefer, because there are players who really want to have the controls big, uh, even bigger than they would usually be, and there are also players who really prefer like this kind of UI scaling which is really small. I can also show you, so you can see that the window is smaller, the UI controls are smaller. I can also show you how to look how it looks like when it's on, let's say, 150%. If the game is running like on 4K, then then it's set to 200. Just for information to know. So now you can see that it's 150% and it's already pretty big. Not only the progress bar, but the text is clearly readable. So yeah, so for people who prefer such view, then UI scaling is the way how to tweak the game. So that's the UI scaling. I will just quickly show you how it looks like when you change it to 150%. So you can see that those panels are huge. I mean, the resource panel, it's almost touching the game window, and even the hints or the windows are really big. It's because this is not really meant to full HD, but that's the way you can tweak it. Let's get back to the 100. And now we will go to the players option. This is the biggest part of the game or of the options, and it's divided into 4 or 5 different categories per what it changes. The first one is related to the actions the AI player executes. So once we click on the end turn button, and then then there is like a sequence or animation of turns the AI player executes, and there is a way how you can configure what do you want to see and you don't want to see. So let's now end the turn. Let's end the turn, and we now have the default setting. So this is the default setting how you, when you start the game, how you see the AI movements. So this is how the AI thinks. And now it's already showing the animation on presentation of the turns of UI. So you can see that we basically see all the moves, all the actions, all the AI players do, or what we can see. So we can see Ptolemaic Empire. He's building roads and moving units, And if we want to skip some of these, we can click on this button on the top, and it will switch the player to the next one. If we don't want to show to see it anymore entirely, we just click on the close the presentation, and this will bring us back to um, the game straight away. So that's the one way how we can control what you see during the AI moves. But we came up with a different system or easier way, uh, and those are these three options. Uh, once you select this only enemy actions, then it will show you only those players you are in war with, but you will still see those actions which are not related to you. So, for example, here Roman Republic is our enemy. We are in war, and despite the fact that the RDA it's not our partner, we will see if they will attack each other. And if you also don't want to see these actions, because if there are many wars, then it might get a bit tedious. Then you can basically turn off the third option, which is called actions related to me. And in this case, we will really see only those actions which are related um, to our own country, which means only those ones when a player conquers our territory or attacks us. So you can see that we saw one unit moving. That was because of they conquered our tile, and we can see those attacks because they are attacking our units. All the rest is skipped. So that's the way if you can play pretty quick game if you don't want to watch all the other moves. So let's get back to the player options. And now there are two related to the loop of the units. When you are playing with your units, then there is like a sort order of what is shown you to move, and you can say that you don't want to loop through these units. Let me just give it a try. So now I will fortify the unit, and it will automatically skip to another one. And this is the way it will loop through all the units which you have available. If you don't like it, you can turn off this automatic unit selection. And automatic deselection is that once the unit perform the turn, like this, again, I will build new town. If you guys have any preference how I should name the town, just write me. I will name it however you want. uh, and you can see that the city stays selected, uh, even it should basically move to another one, but because we changed the player option, I then it stays selected. Next unit setting is so-called unit size. It's also pretty clear what it does. Uh, by default, we have it on medium, but if you prefer smaller size units, then you can see that they get really small. So, I actually know a couple of players who play on that setting, which is for me it's a mystery how they can see those units. But if you prefer the big ones, then you can also set it to giants. So everything, or you will clearly see uh, all the units, your units and enemy units as well. Fast unit movement, again, pretty self-explanatory. If you don't want to wait for movements, then you set it, and this will basically move really fast. Uh, show action options, show action highlight, and action highlight alpha. What it does is that once you select a unit, I don't know, settler, okay, then you can see that well, maybe there are better. Yeah, okay. So you can see that all the tiles are highlighted somehow. So there is a highlight in the range of brown to yellow, and there is blue. This is called unit highlight or unit square highlight. And if you prefer to not have it turn on, then you can turn it off. And if you prefer a different intensity of that color, you can change it. So just watch now these colors. It will straight away get much more contrasty. So if it's not enough by default, you can change it and increase or decrease the alpha of this highlight. Automatic city naming, well, once you if you have it turned on, then it doesn't bring up the city name text box. It will simply automatically name the city. Otherwise, it will show you the box or window where you can set the name. Just a kind of side note, maybe you noticed that this city, once we build them, which is now Pixelpolis, but it was named um, Nicopolis. It was not a coincidence. It's a Greek name of a city which was in that area, and we basically preset. This is something you can do on the scenario level. Even modders can do it. You can preset for particular tiles what kind of city names there should be suggested. You can change it to whatever you want, like you saw, but this is something what is kind of based on uh, historical data. Uh, so this is city naming. Unit naming is basically every military unit can have a name. Like this one has Admetus Army, or this one is Celsus Army. Then these are names which are automatically set. If you don't like it, you can turn it off. And there is zoom on attack, which basically for those of you who like to see the animations, then once you basically attack, it will zoom to this attack and show you in detail the battle, and then it will zoom out again. So these are the unit settings. Now let's move on to the map settings. By the way, guys, thank you for watching. I'm really 90 people, 90 viewers watching. Thank you for joining me tonight. So let's go to the map settings. Map settings. The first two are again pretty self-explanatory. Map scrolling on edges. Basically, if it's turned on by default, then once you get to the edges, you can scroll the map. If you don't like it, you can turn it off. You can also change the way or the speed how quickly it scrolls. Not only these edges, but also the dragging. So this is also related to this map scroll. Then there is hide city labels, pretty clear. Then there is camera movement. Camera movement is something how the camera moves with the unit. So right now it's set to camera movement, which means that once we move the unit, it will get to the unit and then the camera will move with the unit. If you don't like it, then there are two other options. Well, there are three. The first one is none, which doesn't change the camera at all. There is destination focus, which means that it will basically once the unit get to the destination point, it will focus that point or that tile. And there can be also start focus, which does basically the opposite. So I'm not sure if it makes sense to show, but it will basically go to the starting point and stay there. By default, it's moving camera option. So the next 7 to 6. Yes, 7 options are related to the appearance of the map, and there are a number of things you can tweak, and uh, this way you can basically tweak the map to your liking. First one is terrain saturation. Terrain saturation, basically that's what it does. So you can see that current saturation is like this, and we can either make it much more saturated. So you see the contrast of the terrain has changed. We can even set it to really crazy values, so it's really now contrasted and really saturated. Or we can make it a bit more dull, like this. So it's up to you what you prefer. Next is the fog density. Again, pretty self-explanatory. So you can see this is the This is the feature what it's related to. So the fog, if you prefer to have a really low dense fog, then you can just change it per your liking. Then there is the player color overlay and player color overlay alpha. What it does is that right now we see just the borders of all the other players. So we have green color, our color is green, and Roman Republic is red, and we see just the borders. If you prefer to see all the tiles in that color, you can turn this on, and this will color the whole terrain in that color. Uh, the the intensity of this player color can be tweaked, and this is the other slider. So you can either change it to really low values, which almost make it not visible, or 30% you already can clearly see who is which tile, or you can set it to higher values. I don't know, 86, and this is pretty much only the player color. Uh, Related to this is trees in player's color overlay. This means how the trees are colored in that color. So if you want to have the trees entirely in green, then you will have them in green. If you want the trees to be in natural color, you change it, and you can see that it changes per this setting. And there are two more, and it's terrain color overlay and terrain color overlay alpha. What's that for? There are two ways how you can look at the map. The first one is without terrain overlay, terrain textures, and you can see that this is kind of a real look of the textures. So you can see that there is some grass. On plain there is the, or on grassland there is also grass. There are some swamps. There are the lakes or maybe ponds. And if you prefer to have this simplified and have like one terrain or one color per one terrain, then you can turn this on, terrain color overlay, which will color it in a specific color of particular terrain. You can again tweak how much you want to how much of this terrain color you want, and you can see that the forest is, for example, in green, the hills are in beige, etc., etc. This is all up to you how you prefer the game to show you the information. Okay, UI settings, and then there is graphic settings and game settings. The UI settings, let's start with the confirm new turn. I'm pretty sure that not many of you know what this is for. Basically, every time you let AI player play, then at the end of the turn, the new visibility is applied, which means that if I right now have let's say I move the unit here, and this will reveal these two tiles, and once I get back, then till the end of the turn I will see those tiles, but next turn I will not see them. This confirm new turn allows you to see the visibility of the last turn for the last time, which means let's leave this turn on, and let's end the turn. So I will show you how it looks like. Let's just skip these attacks. Yeah, I actually we see all the actions because I set it back to default. So let's just skip all these. Yeah, this is already ours. And now you can see it says click to start. Before we click it, we can see that these tiles are displayed. So I can basically look around and see what has changed, or what I will not see anymore. And once I click to start, then the new visibility is applied, and I will not see those two tiles anymore. They will be again in fog of war. So that's what the confirm new turn setting is for. Enable game hints. I don't want to explain something what is clear, but I would like to point out again one thing because it's important. Every control, everything has a tooltip, but tooltip is really related to current situation. Like for example, in resources, it says how much resources you have, how much did you have last time. For actions, it says how much you need to pay for that, etc. But there are also in this part there are hints which shows you exactly the description of what is this for and what you can do with that. You can see that there are icons like left click, right click, and this should help you to get the grasp of the game. If you don't like these hints, you can turn them off. You can also turn off the advisor, which is like for certain situations. It shows you when you, for example, have low number or low amount of food, or the number of citizens is getting lower, then it tells you what to do, but you can turn it off. Then these four, my attacks info, my conquest info, my enemy attacks info, and enemy conquest info, basically says or configures if you want to see the when you want to see the battle results window. So once I attack a unit, if I have this show my attacks info, it will show the battle result window. If I have this turned off, it will not show anything. It will not show anything. So attacks is related to military units, conquest is related to cities and resources and buildings, and the same for enemies. If we have this turned off and we attack, then there will not be, like I said, any windows popping up, but we can get to this battle result window anyway. In the report panel. Report panel, you can see that there are some kind of lines like reports, and you can show them or display them again by pressing F5 or by pressing this banner. And once we can scroll down to the particular battle and click on that line, and it will show us the battle result window again. So these are these four. Then there are build panels and damage panels. Basically, these are very helpful or useful panels. Basically, this is the damage panel, and you can change it to build panel. Damage panel shows you a list of all the map items which require or need emergency aid or repair. So that's the best way how you can check that all the whole country is functioning on 100%, and if not, then it will be listed here. You just click on that and it will get you to that particular map item, and you can repair. Build panel lists all the ongoing works or actions which are right now performed or executed. So if I write in Abdera town, if I will build a boat, then you can see that the build panel expanded. There are now 4 items, and the first one says Abdera will finish building fleet in 2 turns. So this is a build action related to the city itself, and then there is the fleet will be built in 2 turns. So this is like an action related to the fleet itself. So these 2 panels are kind of helpful, especially the damage panel and build panel only for information what you are up to. Then finally we get to these extended UI settings. What we wanted initially was a pretty clear UI with not so many information. So you can see that by default it looks like this. This is how the UI looks like when you start the game. We tried to be to not overwhelm you with many buttons, and that's why some of the buttons are already hidden by default, and that's called extended UI. If you turn this on, then there are 4 other buttons added to the lower left and lower right corner. In the lower left corner, it's a trade overview window button and strategic overview. In the lower right corner, in the unit menu, it's so-called alert, which basically is an action which wakes up all the sleeping or units which you already marked as skip for this turn. And there is a next idle city, which is basically the same like next unit, just for cities. So if you really want to go through all your cities which are idle and available for building or recruiting anything, then you can use this extended UI. By the way, for example, next idle city can be also achieved by control and spacebar shortcut. So you don't need to have this turn on if you don't like it. Next one, you can turn off the did you know hints, not important option. Then there is show confederation messages. This is pretty important when you are in confederation with another player, which we are right now. Ptolemaic Empire is actually our confederation state, and what it does, when you have this turn off, it doesn't show you what we now turn it on, and I will show you what's the difference. Like, let's just end the turn. And from now on, it will list also the reports which are related to Ptolemaic Empire. So you can see that there is in the brackets Ptolemaic Empire blacksmith has been captured. So it means that they just captured this with this cavalry. They captured the blacksmith, and this is their report. But because we are they are our confederation, you might be interested in what's happening. So this is the way you can turn this on if you want to know what's going on. And there is button bar movement, again something really minor. Once you select the unit, uh, then the action bar is basically expanding. So we are pretty much getting to the end. There is graphic settings. Graphic settings is related, like it says, to graphics, but it doesn't require restart. So the first option is related to the invisible tiles, or tiles which you don't have any ideas what's actually there, even not what terrain. And it's these dense clouds. Some players prefer to have it like black, so you can have it like black if you prefer to. Then there is enable ambient animations. What it basically means is that if you don't like these, deers and dolphins and birds and eagles flying around and running around, then you can basically turn it off here. Then there is particles. Particles is the wake behind ships and the foam of ships. Again, something you don't really need to tweak. Then there is this important one, hide trees in top view. I will come back to it in a minute. And then there is change daylight. Daylight. What is this for? Is the game dynamically changes the color or color tone of the sunshine related to the situation. So if you are having like if you are growing, you are not in war with anyone, etc., then there is a really nice bright color. I will show you in 1 minute. If you are in war like we are, then the sunshine gets a bit darker, bit red, and if you are in crisis, then it gets really red. So this was created to enhance the immersion, and it was well received during the beta test. So I hope that you also like it. Let me just change it so you can see the color tone now, and if we turn this off, it will get back to default, and you can see that it's kind of a morning light, daylight. By default, it's turned on. And there is these game settings, again pretty simple. Autosave period, after how many turns you want to automatically save the game, how many save files you want to use, and if you want to save the game also right before the end turn. So if the AI player does something you don't like, you can get back to the end turn autosave if you prefer to. So these are the settings in the window, in the game settings window. But there are a couple of more of these settings, and that's also the final part of today's stream. So I already want to say, if you have any questions on me, please already write them, because I will get back to them right after this part. So the last part is related to the player to the options below the minimap. These are like shortcuts, or maybe not shortcuts, but ways how to get to the player options fast, or these are really used a lot, so we decided to put them below the minimap. The first one is the one we already talked about. It's about the player color overlay, and like you see in the brackets in the tooltip, it also is changed when you press F8. Then there is this turn on or off displaying trees and fog. The reason for that is that some players really prefer to have very clear view of the map, and they don't even appreciate these trees. They don't appreciate the fog. So if you want to have a clear view, then you just press on this icon, and you can see that you just you see all the units in much clearer way and without the fog. So so these parts which are in fog of war are just a bit grayed out. Then there is turning off and on the trade routes. I'm not sure if there are any trade routes we now can now raid. Okay, what I will do, I will load this game again because we already went through a couple of turns. I'm not sure if I got into this last time because there was a problem with connection. But what it is about is that when you want to raid the other trade routes, then you need to see where those trade routes are, and that's what this particular player option is. So by default, you see just your own trade routes, but once you have a vessel available for a raiding, then you turn this on, and you see all the active trade routes. So right now you can see we have it turned on, and we see all the trade routes, even not those which are not for us. And when we click on that, we just see our active one, which is this one. So once we have a vessel to we can like a pirates, then we simply find the right trade route to loot. The next thing is, and this is uh, the next player option is so-called top view. This was very important for us to implement. It's there already for a couple of years, but the thing what it does is, when we were doing the first user test, some players really prefer to play on this level of zoom out. It was pretty interesting to watch these players because we didn't play it like that, and the reason why they played it like that, they wanted to have a clear overview of the big part of the country, or the whole country at once. And because of once you zoom out to a certain level, then the units are you see them basically from the top, and it's not that easy to figure out what kind of unit it is. So that's why we came up with this top view. Once you get to a certain distance, it changes the 3D models to icons, and you can clearly see what they are, what's there, what kind of unit. And this is not just an overview. We were really trying hard to make this a fully featured view. So if there are any players who prefer to play in 2D with a clear overview or clear view, then you are absolutely able to play the whole game in this view, because there is not only the size of the cities, but things like, you can see that there is this icon of hammer. It means that this is now executing some action. You can see the damage of each unit with the bloodstains, etc. So this was very important for us to implement, and to make it even simpler, we came up with a shortcut which brings you directly to the top view. So now, right now, let's say you play the game like that, and you want to go to the top view. So you just click on that, or you just press tab, and it will bring you back to the 3D view or top view. And that's also the part which is related to the high trees in top view. If you click on that, if you turn it on, it means that it will hide the trees only in top view. So this will make the overview very clear, and that's probably why you wanted to go to the top view. So if you prefer to have like trees and eye candy aspects in the map on 3D, and then you want to have a clear overview in 2D, then this is the setting for you. By default, it is turned off. And there are last 3 player options. The first one is grid, showing grid, simple enough. Then there is the so-called supply area filter or overview, and it shows you if you plan a military campaign, then you might turn this on and see how far your supplies can get. Uh, when there is no highlight of these tiles, then they are fully supplied. You can see in the tooltip that this tile is supplied on 100%. But those ones which are highlighted either in red, so you can see that this is in red and it's not supplied, it says in tooltip, or there is a range of colors from yellow to brown. That means that the supply is not on 100%. I'm not sure if there is a way how to see a bit more. Let's move this unit. Yeah, you can already see uh, that these are not supplied on 100%, and and this highlight is available when you have this supply filter turned on. Otherwise, this is a default way of highlight for selected units. And then there is a shortcut for terrain overlay, and that's what we already discussed before and covered before. So this is pretty much it for today. Uh, it's right. It's 1 hour and a couple of more minutes. Um, when is the community mode showcase stream? Well, we have in plan a couple of more of these dev streams. The next one will be about it will not be about the rules or options and available things in game. It will be a bit more advanced already. And what it will be about the game editor. So we will learn together how to change terrains, create roads and rivers, set relations and stuff like that. Then we will show you a brand new tool, uh, which is meant to create new maps in a couple of minutes from an image. This will be in a next update. It's called Creators Update, and we will probably release it next week. So it will be simple enough to take whatever map from internet, and that will automatically create a new map in Aggressors for you. With this, we hope that you will also get into scenario creation, because it's really easy, and we would like you to try that. And the last thing we will also cover next time is the map generator. So I will explain a couple of things, how the map is generated, etc. And after this stream, there will be another one which will be related to modding. So if you are interested in modding, then I will show you live how to change what to change. We might even have like a voting of what I should change or implement straight away during that stream, and that will be much more interactive. So you can ask questions, and I will answer in the code and try to explain you whatever you come up with. Okay, so it seems like we covered all the questions, because I don't see anything else here. Okay, so in that case, thank you very much for watching. I'm really happy about the number of viewers today. So I hope you enjoy the stream, and I will see you next Friday. And that time it will be about, like I said, the map editor. It will be about the new tool and about the customized map generator. So have a nice evening, and I look forward to see you next time.